live. So let's just assume that we're live everywhere. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Just getting my morning bike ride done. I've already done a morning jog, did about 32 minutes, did that only on Facebook. Now we're going to get on the bike for just a little bit, get some extra list cardio in, get some streams. Hopefully we get some good conversations going. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes. We never know how it's going to go. Looks like Peppermint's in here first. Appreciate it, Peppermint. Hit those likes, get everything flowing. That means that at least stuff's hitting the algorithm, right? And as you guys can tell, there's nothing unique to the tubes anymore. There's no point. There's just no point in making anything unique here. But we'll at least multi-stream everything. All of my videos will go to all platforms. And so at least, but the tubes does give the most engagements on lives, not going to lie. Not necessarily the most money. It's only better money if you guys donate supers, but otherwise, at least we get engagement. So it gives me conversations to stream everywhere. So it's still definitely worth it. But yeah, so you guys will notice I'm only doing multi stuff on here, but I can only do 3 pieces of content. It doesn't put me in the algorithm. And I have a feeling that based upon chatting with my contact at Google, having a tier account, having been in the creator program before. Pretty much I need to just stick to no more than 3 pieces of content for a while. My channel will pick back up. Like that will literally unkill the channel, right? That will literally unkill the channel. I just have to quit spamming and I can go spam the other platforms where they reward it. So, but hopefully you guys are going to get these lives every day. So anyone's like, man, you get lives, you get Q&As, you get at least one informative and a vlog, training vlog every day. I'll throw some client vlogs, and I haven't done as many of them. I skipped 1 or 2. Obviously some stuff with Ted, you guys will see kind of what we're doing. There's a reason we didn't put one up this week. But we got some interesting stuff with him going. Yeah, so I'm streaming everywhere right now. We're on the tubes, we're on the Facebook fitness page, I'm on my profile, right? Just making everything flow. But I'm doing good, Harthel. I'm doing good, man. Jason, how is the double progression in 3 to 5 rep range? For example, 200 kilogram squat for 3 reps. That's not double progression. Okay, you don't understand double progression. You did something completely different. Sorry, that's not double progression. No. So double progression would mean, let's say you're doing double progression in the 3 to 5. You start with 3, you go to 4 and 5. When you can get to 5 reps, you add weight. You don't go 3 reps with 200 kilos and then go to 202.5. No. If your double progression is a 3 to 5, until you get to 5 reps, you don't add any weight, right? So it's reps, target reps acquired, add weight, reset. And it doesn't mean you do 3, you do what you can do. If you can get 5 again with the weight bump, then do 5, right? Hey, Coach, do you have any thoughts on Dr. Mike getting his skin removal surgery and planning further surgery down the road? Yeah, no, nonsense. I not for me personally. To each their own. I'm definitely not doing any of that. Luke says, hey, Jason, what's up, Luke? Tyrone, who invented work mode training? I did. It's just a name. Like, it's not a training style. It's just whatever I was doing at the time. I'd call it work mode or chaos mode. It's a name I came up with just to market. I thought it was fun. That's it. That's the whole back. Are you ready? That's the entire backstory. I just said, hey, let's get some names to call some of the training for the vlogs, and the idea is just for fun. That's it. Chaos mode was a good one, right? Hey, Jason, thank you. That will work with heavyweight, like 200 kilograms. Yeah, that will absolutely work. Chaos mode was a good one. Yeah, agreed. If people want cosmetic surgery, it is what it is. Not for me. I think it's indicative of psychological issues. Maybe. It might be. I don't know that it always is, Luke. It could be, though. Yeah. It's definitely not for me. I don't see myself interested in that. Even if I was sitting on an extra $1 million, I can't see it. Back, I'd care even less. I would care even less. It would actually be less appealing. Because even then there's no marketing reason. I'm sitting on an extra $1 million. You think I care about outreach at that point? So it would be silly. I'd never do it for personal reasons. Personally, just me personally. I do get why some influencers might want to for marketing. I can at least understand it as a business decision. Not for me. Blood for the blood god. Exactly. Skulls for the throne of corn. Yep, the whole chaos mode. Luke, I agree with that too. Maybe psych issues. It's not something I relate to, and there can be reasons for business, but in Mike's case, I think it's beyond. Yeah, there's probably definitely a body dysmorphia issue with that, But again, that's his personal situation. I mean, how do I put this? I'm not going to pass personal moral judgment on someone for having a body image issue. That makes sense. Like, man, there's a lot of things you could judge somebody for. I'm going to say judging somebody over having some body dysmorphia, though, is a bit petty. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can be petty sometimes. Let me be clear. Let me reiterate. Coach Blaha can be petty sometimes. I'm not that petty, though. All right. Why don't we have more likes in here? We got multiple regulars. We got one like. Luke, why you didn't hit the like button? Tyrone, why you didn't hit the like button? Come on. I'm not feeling the love today. There we go. Thank you, guys. Coach not feeling the love. That's a little bit better, though. I know that you did peppermint. We already know that you hit the like button. Like, that's a given. Right? We don't even have to ask. Jason, hypertrophy training is strength training. Man, that is a nuanced answer. There's a huge degree of overlap. How do I put this? Yes, oftentimes there is training that is a complete 100% overlap of both. However, I suppose I would look at it from the perspective of what is your goal with it. Because that could bias the training just slightly. Right? Meaning, everybody's going to do rep work to gain muscle of some type. That's a given, right? However, realistically speaking, the person chasing strength is probably not going to care a lot about a mind-muscle connection on a single joint exercise. They're going to care about getting big. Yeah. I mean, someone who cares about strength is going to care about gaining muscle on their overhead press and their pull-up and their glute ham raise and so, right? They're going to care. They're trying to gain muscle. We know size raises your strength ceiling like a 90% carryover. Okay. We know this. They're probably not going to care a lot about maximizing the lateral head of their delt with every last drop possible. They don't care about getting big shoulders though. Okay. There's going to be like a huge overlap. All right. The person who is training for hypertrophy probably isn't going to care about dialing in a perfect technique on a 1 rep max. In other words, even if they do some heavy benching for the neural drive that's going to carry over to hypertrophy, they're probably not going to be concerned with maximizing their arch on a bench. They're not going to be concerned with trimming the range of motion down and learning a perfect bar path for a true 1 rep max with the shortest range of motion possible. All right. Maybe too involved with the question, do you have any basics for what to do for warm-up progression sets like both certain rep ranges? When I put up my warm-ups, people freak out. I don't talk a lot about warm-ups because I don't really warm up to a meaningful degree. And when I say what I do, people freak out and say that I'm going to hurt people. So like my last meet, my warm-up was my opener on the deadlift. I warmed up with 230 kg. I didn't do any deadlifting first. I just walked up there and pulled it. Right? This is where people freak out on me. So how do I warm up for a 500 squat? I put 225 on the bar and I do 1 rep. I go 315, 1 rep. I go 405, 1 rep. I do 3 warm-up reps, and we put 500 on the bar and squat it. Now, when people say, well, you don't do any other stuff. Well, yeah, I mean, I drink a cup of coffee, that warms me up. I go take a shit. So I get a squat getting up and down off the toilet once. So I usually drink a cup of coffee and I take a big poop before I work out. So that's part of my warm up. A lot of times for squatting, I like to do a dead hang to get my shoulders loose. Right? So I'll dead hang on before a squat. And then we load the thing up and we start training. For a deadlift, I don't know, do 315 or 405 for one rep, and then we're ready to go. I usually do one warm-up rep on the deadlift. Notice I didn't say set, I said rep. One rep. I'd never deadlift less than 315 even for a warm-up. A lot of times I just go straight to 405 for a single, and then we load 500 plus and we start training. Like that's normal for me, even in my 40s, and I've always trained that way. You know, I feel like people overdo warm-ups on bench. Yeah, I probably warm up more on the bench than anything else. I'll do 3 reps with an empty bar, 3, 4. You know, sometimes I do 4 reps. Right, we get a little wild there. I need to warm up on incline. I always start with 135. Same with overhead press. I have to start with an empty bar. Yeah, you should be able to walk in with cold jeans and pull 500. I agree. If you're in shape, why couldn't you do that? I don't think that's unreasonable expectation. I can do it. I can do it right now. Off day, I could load 500 on the bar, walk in and deadlift it, and I wouldn't pull anything. I watched this video of a guy doing 100 reps of the bar at increments. Yeah. The only reason I have to do any loosening up is because of the back squat, just to get in position. But if my shoulder health was and mobility was all better, I wouldn't need to do that. I could probably just walk over to the bar with plates on it and start squatting. But that's the one problem I do run into. But other movements, I don't warm up for rows or weighted pull-ups. How to bulletproof lower back, build your hamstrings, do reverse hypers. Hey, Tyrone, he got that from me, though. And I originally heard that from Jamie Lewis and agreed. Jamie Lewis wrote that in his vlog like 12 years ago. He's like, dude, if you can't walk over it off the street in your blue jeans and deadlift 500 pounds, you're not in shape. And I agreed. I'm like, he's right. I mean, really. Yeah, exactly. Look at it this way. You had to pull a heavy weight off a child to the street. You're going to warm up first, right? Like are you in shape or not, guys? Get in shape. But this also comes with years under the barbell. Like once you have a feel for this stuff, you have a feel. Like you either know how to do the lift or you don't. Saying argument with straight, yeah. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree when I say stuff like that. I get people who are like, "That's reckless. That's dangerous advice." I will admit there are people who give that criticism. Okay, but where are they? I don't know. The last guy who really made a video angry to me about that has gotten out of shape and he's getting fat and sloppy and he's pre-diabetic. Blood work looks terrible. He's not doing too well. I'm just saying. Not going to name names. Some of y'all can figure it out. He made a whole hate video angry at me about it. Then he let himself go. And people messaged me about it. So, let's get in shape, guys. Same thing, man. When people are like, what do you do before you go do your barefoot run? Like, what do you mean? You're supposed to, you run. What are y'all talking about? I never warmed up even before I used to do 10-mile runs when I was, younger, getting in shape. We just get up and run. Right? How can a hater become? Well, I heard he's pre-diabetic based on the blood work he put up a while back. He's gotten fat. You want initials? SS. All right. So, Yeah, same argument with straps. Exactly. You're not going to be able to strap up to go out there and do something. A heavy tree falls on a infant and you have to pull it off of them. You don't have time to strap up. You got to just pull that tree, guys. Come on. So that's kind of the point. Are we strong and are we fit or are we not? And yeah, even me, I'm about to turn 49 coming up here. And, it's just not that big of a deal. Right. Exactly, Luke. These guys will blast so much trend they can't sleep. They'll eat Anadrol all day, out strength their connective tissue. Then they'll tell Jason he'll hurt his feet or he should warm up more. What's the current stat? Replacement dose of test. No, my whole stat is literally a TRT dose of test. That's the entire stat. I am in the normal range. I'm not going to give my exact numbers, but I'm under 1,000 nanograms per deciliter. And any hours, Jason? Nope. We're literally just. And I really do mean that. I'm not saying that as hyperbole. I'm not saying TRT with quotations. I am literally on just a replacement dose of testosterone, and I am in the normal test range. That is my entire stack. No ancillaries, no growth hormone. I just don't need it because I want to be healthy right now. I don't feel that I need more than that to reach my current goals. It's not necessary. And I want my blood work to be pretty. I want to make sure that my lipids look good. I want to improve my cardiac health. I'm trying to be healthy right now. That's why we do all the cardio, all the running. My diet's clean. I'm trying to live and be fit. Let's not Jerry Ward. Let's not Rich Piana. Let's not do this. Why would VAR help your joint health? Growth hormone would be the best thing you could do for that. Jason, 3-day full body for advanced lifters makes sense to allow us more time to focus on cardio GPP. Exactly. Like I can go run my other days. My last test results, 775 nanograms per deciliter lifetime natty. I figure for me, a test doesn't matter much unless I'm systematically acutely hypogonadal. I definitely support TRT though. Yeah, that's fair. Noah, there's better things for collagen than Anavar. Keep in mind, Anavar is going to crater your HDL. Heart disease runs in my family, both sides. So at this point in the game, I'm 48 years old. I don't know that I want to be using a bunch of Anavar. My collagen, my joints and tendons are good. Right? I train everything correctly. So that's why I'm kind of like, people are always like, Blaha, you abuse all this gear. Why don't you look like a pro bodybuilder? And I'm like, last time I checked, having 700 nanograms per deciliter testosterone is not abusing a bunch of gear. You guys need to get a clue. All right. I hit a 500-pound squat on no stack this year. So $350 bench. I did a $350 bench with a 2-second pause about 6 weeks ago. Luke says that's part. Hey, no, I'm not going to discuss stuff further like that though, because I'm also on Facebook and they have a very strict policy. I'm streaming on 3 different streams right now. Right. Yeah, you got to be smart. Longevity is the game. I agree, Tyrone. Some people taking like 4 or 5 things with like 20 things to attenuate the myriad of effects, right? Absolutely. Yeah, we're triple dipping right now. We are triple dipping. No, 350 is not my PR. I benched 365 on camera, both close grip and wide at heavier body weight. 350 is my best bench at weighing under 220 walk around weight though. So yeah. But I did I did, I was 210 when I hit 350. And I did that about 6 weeks ago. And it was a full meat legal, heels flat. It was a 2-second pause on the chest. Like, it was clean. Good morning, Jane, on the Facebook profile. How you doing? We're triple dipping here. We're on the profile too, but I'm on my fitness page and I'm on my tubes for my bigger audience. All the comments are on the tube this morning. Peppermint says longevity is a game, but not starting earlier is a real bummer. Yeah. I mean, the people who start training at like 12 or 13 have such an edge. And I'm saying that as someone with over 25 years in the game, you know. Luke says, Tyrone, I agree, longevity, so just supplement with a plant leaf. Only found this small grove in Mongolia or something. Kidding. Yeah, these guys with their nonsense, Turkestone, Tomcat leads. Like, come on, guys. You should work more meats. I miss it, Eric. I'll do more meats. I think coming up in the future, when I get some other stuff sorted in my life, I'll probably do some powerlifting meets again, and then I'll probably do some 5Ks. Because I run also, keep in mind, guys, I spend just as much effort on my cardio as I do my lifting. So, I mean, I lift 3 days a week. We run 3 days a week. So I already did my morning run. I streamed that on my Facebook fitness page. So I try to do a 5K 3 times a week. Sleep 4 hours a day, drink and smoke. I don't have a lever tub, right? Absolute insanity. You should step on. I'm not interested in doing a bodybuilding show, no. For one, I don't like the current modern. I'm aware I'm plenty thick. That's not the problem. The level of leanness they want, I don't want to subject myself to that. How dry and lean they want you in current modern bodybuilding is not for me. Plus, I just don't like the way the sport, because not really a sport, is going. Like if they return to golden era type stuff or silver era, I'd be more supportive. Or preacher curls more biceps or brachialis. I mean, objectively, it's going to be more bicep, but it's a very brachialis heavy movement. Right? Of course. Anything happening on Facebook? We haven't get any comments on the Facebook yet. We'll get Carol. Carol came in on the running vlog, so he'll fly through both of these. Yeah, I don't want to fly to Gold's Witness. I have no desire to go to California. No, I'm not going to go into politics, but I don't travel places I can't carry a piece. I'm not doing it. I refuse to support that way of life. I refuse to support a place that doesn't allow you to carry. Yeah, it's not nice there. Exactly what I just described. To me, the 1940s aesthetic was my favorite. I appreciate early Artie eras, but it's punishing for me. It's like a spectator still need. Yeah, very worse is the bubble gut peak. We're still in the bubble gut peak. It's still there. Are they pretending it's gone? It's still there. They look hideous. They look worse now than they did then. I don't want to film with O'Hearn. So, all right. Probably enough for the Facebook profile. I'm going to wind that down and get my reel. Get my reel for the day. Sup, Coach? What's up, Rufio? How you doing, bro? Since you mostly do triples in your big lifts, how do you know when you're ready to add weight? Based on feel. But how do I know I need to add weight? Maybe I could just add reps. Review or Marco. Or I could just add reps. There's nothing stopping me from just leaving those same weights on the bar and just working volume up with it too. I mean, realistically, wouldn't that be just as effective? Like right now, would I not get bigger and stronger if I literally just went 315, 405, 500 on the big three and just added reps and volume? Would I not get bigger and stronger? I mean, you can do that as an advanced lifter. Yeah, I mean, I might go up to three by three or something, like 3 sets with those weights, at least on everything but the deadlift, and just add reps. Hey, Tyrone, do you see the problem with your question? I'm sure it's flooded somewhere in Texas. I mean, just statistically speaking, due to the sheer massive size of it, I mean, there could be a massive flood right now, 1,000 miles away from me somewhere. It probably is. I don't know. Unless it makes headlines, I'm not going to see it. Keep in mind, dude, it's that big. So when you're asking Texas weather, understand Texas is bigger than every European nation. Not most. There is not a single country in Europe that is the size of Texas. Not one. So keep in mind, someone will say, I heard something happened in Texas. And I'm like, well, go look at a map. And it's like, it's 1,400 kilometers away from me where the event occurred. That's a pretty good distance, guys. Keep in mind, side to side, it's 1,500 kilometers across. Top to bottom, the farthest point is 1,500 kilometers. I'm in Toronto, never. Yeah, so I mean, it's all good. But people ask that stuff, and I'm like, guys, I mean, it's not even. Y'all be asked talking about things that aren't even within driving distance. Like if I got in a car and drove, it'd be like 12 hours to get there. Yeah, so I know how. So right, and I live in an area with 8 million people in the metropolitan area. Like even the Houston area, I don't think people realize how long it takes. There are people who live in the suburbs that during rush hour that commute home from downtown to the suburbs is 2 to 3 hours drive to get home, unless they use the HOV line sometimes. But usually an hour or more. I used to have a job where it was an hour and a half for me to get home in the afternoon. Driving. So just due to the traffic and the sheer size. So the Houston area is the size of some smaller European nations. Context here, context. I know flying over Great Los Angeles is insane. It's like 10 minutes flying over nothing but lights and have it. Yeah. It's like that flying in and out of Houston too, Luke. It's the same way. Again, 8 million people in the area, in the metropolitan area here. 2 international airports just in the city. And I live outside of Houston, but technically I think the biggest airport is just outside of Houston. It's like 10 minutes from me. And yes, we do everything in minutes in Texas. Yeah. Like Dallas is 4 hours away from where I live. Like, so northern Houston to reach Dallas Fort Worth area, we say that's 4 hours away. So if you get on the freeway and drive in a straight line without stopping, it's 4 hours to that next big city. Went through 4 hours of farms and ranch pastures. Any tips for a salesman? Yeah, go do a sales channel instead of a fitness channel. All right. So let's get back over to fitness topics. Now that people seem to think it's okay to ask non-fitness stuff, that's my fault. I apologize for answering a non-fitness question. Bad coach, and then set a bad habit to where people think that it's acceptable on the channel. So let's get back over to fitness stuff, guys, since that is the channel. Tip for a salesman: go to a channel about sales and ask them for advice. That would be my tip. Just a tip. You get more practice with the lifts with higher frequency, but isn't your neural adaptation already maxed out? But there's still the skill aspect. It stays fresh. Everyone knows where I live, Noah. I've been doxxed numerous times. The whole internet literally has my address within 3 days anytime I've ever moved. It gets published everywhere within 72 hours. Every time. So I figured out how they do it there finally. Coach, did you add in the fat bar for pull-ups? No, not yet. Yeah, that's creepy as hell. But yeah, bad coach. Let's stick back over to fitness topics. Well, weirdos are gonna weirdo, Luke. We know that. But I was hoping for a better stream. Let's talk about this other stuff. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's stick to more fitness stuff, guys. We're getting cardio done, though. Lifts are getting done. Lionel is in Facebook, speaking only Spanish. Hey, Lionel, you know I only speak a little bit of Espanol, right? You're going to have to use a translator at some point, brother. It's all good, though. It's engagement. It's actually distressing me. Yeah, exactly. What's your goal time for the 5K before the end of the year? I'd like to hit 25 minutes by the end of the year. I'm not pushing it. My thing didn't record. I had a really good run this morning, and I go to check the app. I know I started, and it didn't record. So I don't have run data, but I vlogged the whole time. I had a good 5K plus based on, I know my route and my times. I had a really good run on camera, and the app didn't record today, which sucks. It's the first time I've had that happen. I know some of you guys, several of you guys follow me on the app too. I screenshot it usually from my page. Any thoughts on the so-called interference effect? Man, we could write a whole book on that, Luke. It's been overhyped. It's not as big as people think it is. Is it better to do the same lift every training or so? I mean, if you're seeking to maximize overload, then you should do the same one. Just be aware of overuse. I did a video on that today, Marco. You didn't see the video? I have a whole video on that this morning. Go watch. I literally uploaded a video about that today. Just got off a 3-mile run. Yeah, I do 3 miles most days that I run. A little over because I try to do at least a 5K. Run 3 miles. I'm running almost every day, 2 body groups twice a week. I don't understand the last part, but that's okay. But enjoy your videos debunking carnivore diets, right? The carnivore is insane. And it's even worse. I mean, again, without getting into too much detail and without people getting mad at me, I'm just saying based on your name, you'll appreciate this. Certain ethnic groups, is more dangerous than it is for others. If you're predisposed to certain issues, it is going to kill you faster than it will other groups. So I think definitely this needs to be, definitely should not be pushed into certain communities. Like people like me, it will kill us the slowest, but it'll still kill us. Don't get me wrong. But, you see Eddie Abu doing it, and it's like, dude, Yeah, plant-based, exactly. I mean, and I don't blame you, dude. I mean, again, people have to factor in predispositions based on ethnicity too, is a real deal when it comes to disease. I feel like we can say that without people accusing you of anything negative. I'm going to take a risk on that one without people saying, oh, you went there. Okay. Certain groups, if you were predisposed to high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, you damn well better keep your saturated fat low. You know what I mean? Like I'm literally here trying to save people. That's racist. You can't be trying to save black people as racist. You can't want them to live. People are that crazy though. Who's my favorite power lifter of all time? Me, myself. Favorite pizza. Man, it's going to be a tie between a stuffed crust pepperoni and a Supreme. As a med PhD, I think there should be different reference ranges for certain biomarkers to make different polymorphisms, different downstream implications based on some ethnical consider. I mean, I agree. I think most doctors understand that. I think most doctors understand that. You know. But we know that, and we know why from a diet perspective too, historically. If you look at the groups that would have had access to the lowest saturated fat for the past few thousand years, notice a trend. So who had access to the most saturated fat? Northern Europeans, right? For thousands of years, mainly because of dairy and some other fatty stuff. You go down to, so we are probably slightly more resistant to it. Whereas then you go down to Africa, there's like no saturated fat historically. There's like no tolerance. So it makes sense why you see, I mean, I'm throwing out a hypothesis. It would make sense why you see certain blood markers. Right. False, look up Reeves. He had a shake, I believe it was. I don't have any idea what you just wrote. I can see why it worries some people, racism, but it's overlooking the point, ironically, counterproductive in treating different groups. Well, yeah, I would kind of agree with that hypothesis. You know, I mean, it's the same thing. So when I deal with clients, I mean, a perfect example, I had one of my clients. He was a younger guy. He was a black guy from New Orleans, right? And I was coaching him, and he was trying to bulk up, and he was struggling to get enough weight. The guy had a six-pack. Like, he was ripped year round. I'm trying to get him to bulk, and he's ripped. You know, he started eating double bacon cheeseburgers. He was going to like Jack in the Box and getting a double bacon cheeseburger every day. He's like 20 years old. He went and got blood work done. And I told him, I don't know if that's a good idea. And his blood work was horrific. The doctor told him, yeah, your blood pressure and LDL is already out of range, and you're 20 years old with abs. And that's a textbook example. So I talked to him about Cecilia. He's like, you're right. The doctor agreed with you. So what can we do? So we had him switch over to healthier fats. He replaced all of that with natural peanut butter. And within 10 weeks, his blood work was good again. Right? Blood work was good again. I think the carnivore fad wasn't even around for that long. More anecdote of people being in that long term to see the consequences. Exactly. And we're starting to see it now. Have you ever followed someone else's program? Not really. No, I mean, unless we talk about conjugate. I don't know if Leroy Coleman was a fake natty. But yeah, exactly, Tyrone. Crazy. I mean, so it's like this goes to show you how big of a deal that is. You know? Because he was lean. Like, he had a full six-pack. I'm talking full deep abs, under 10% body fat. Was lifting weights and doing some cardio because he was playing basketball on the side, doing pickup games several times a week, plus our 4-day lifting. Like, he was lean and fit. Yet eating a double bacon cheeseburger every day for lunch, his LDL and his blood pressure went out of range. So yeah, we have to have those conversations, you know, have to have those conversations, especially like if you're a coach and you have clients, because I could look at that and go, okay, but he was gaining muscle, right? So it's all good. Or I just go, hey man, as long as he's making gains and he's paying me, you see what I mean? Or do you do the responsible thing and go, hey dude, you know, with your background and this blood work looking like this, we can't do this. Because I don't want you to have a heart attack in 15 years. You know, and he was a good kid, good work ethic, you know. So lucky I never liked bacon when I ate it. It was mainly chicken breast, which is still good. That'd be fine though, dude. That's not going to create the problems we're worried about. I mean, he still ate meat. He ate chicken and fish and stuff later, and everything was smooth sailing. But we had to replace all that. That double bacon cheeseburger had to be replaced with natural peanut butter. I just watched your video of some dude, Jay, do double snapping his quad muscles while squatting. Yep. Yep. Right. But yeah, we have to have those conversations though. And I mean, in that case, does background matter? Well, we know it matters. And that's what I would talk about in fitness. You know, in that case, I don't generally care for pork, honestly. So I don't usually like the taste of pork. I'm not saying I don't like when I would do a cheat meal of pizza or something with pepperoni, but outside of something like that, I don't usually eat it because I don't care for it personally. I don't like the taste. Plus, I mean, without getting religious, a pig is a kind of a nasty animal, right? I mean, a pig is a nasty animal. I know I'm Slavic, so I'm supposed to be mostly pork, you know, but still. So I usually do mostly chicken. I do a little beef. Yeah, dude, they're nasty. They're nasty as hell. They really are nasty. You know, it's a filthy animal, man. Just quote Samuel L. Jackson. The pig is a filthy animal. We've all seen Pulp Fiction. Chicken, salmatant, bison, or yeah, dude. I mean, bison and elk are solid choices. I mean, my budget goes up. I'll do more of those again. Just they get pricey. I can get them. Like I can get them here locally. I took a picture of some of them here. The grass-fed bison, the grass-fed elk. But chicken is just so easy. It's lean. It's easy to cook. It's inexpensive. I buy tons of it. Now, someone will make a video about how you were anti-Islam because pigs are gross. Right. Well, I think it would be the opposite, though, because I said a pig is a nasty animal. To be fair, my stance on alcohol has actually helped my outreach with some Muslims. Because I'm very anti-alcohol, and their religion completely forbids it. So when I'm over here as a trainer saying, hey, it's a poison, we shouldn't consume it, I kind of get the nod from them. And they're like, yeah, he's right. So do eggs raise LDL or not? I've seen scientists make contradictory claims on this like millions of times at this point. Okay. Let's set aside all correlation. Let's set aside the correlational data that we know shows other issues because of the choices of what people eat with the eggs. Direct measurements, there's been some studies showing no negatives from up to 2 eggs a day. But what we're looking at is genetics. We're looking at a genetic response. Luke, I think you'll understand this. What we're looking at is your capacity to absorb dietary cholesterol is a genetic marker. It's a genetic trait. At around about 70% of the population, dietary cholesterol will not affect you negatively because you're simply not absorbing it and utilizing it in that manner. You're getting all of it from your liver production itself of like your LDL. Around a third, like maybe 30% of the population, it might be as low as 20, depending, again, we come over to differences in ethnicity. It's kind of vary. For some people, yes, dietary cholesterol will absorb, it will cross that barrier, it will elevate levels to some extent. So the answer is for most people, but that most doesn't mean like 95%. That most means like 70%. It's not going to. For the others, you might see a significant negative rise from 2 or 3 eggs a day. But it seems to be a genetic trait. So how's that for an answer? This is going upon the available data. Luke said, I spent a month where I ate varying amounts of eggs and got various blood work done multiple times per week before and during. 1,000% think genetics play a big role in egg yolk. So what did your levels do, Luke? Personally? You know, Tyrone says, yeah, I still eat chicken despite what people think you should eat meat when you're plant-based. Most of the calories come from. Yeah, but well, see, Tyrone, I agree with what you're doing. Like, I would look at what you just said and go, that sounds good to me. Right? You're still getting some animal source protein, but you're eating mostly plant-based calories, very high carbohydrate. As an athlete who cares about his health markers, I'm going to look at that and say, that sounds great. Jay Masters' claim to fame, he was one of the Delray Misfits with Jason Genova and all that stuff. He's from that circle. That's his claim to fame. For me personally, I had very little change from eggs from 1 to 8 per day, but after that, I had some slim changes. Yeah. I never tested it while getting my blood work while eating eggs versus not, but most of my family members eat eggs regularly and their LDL is normal. So I guess maybe. I mean, Marco, you don't know till you go get it tested. I'm not certain of specific genetic variants. I think it's probably a mixture, but it varies a lot for some people. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's probably not going to be just one gene. It rarely is, though, is it? Right? I mean, people start looking at different things and think, oh, it's just one gene, and they realize there's 7 different genes that control that trait. Like, oh, well, that's a little complicated. It's not like eye color, right? That's a very, very small amount of genes involved. This is like basically one gene on each allele. That falls under classic Mendelian genetics. But you get into a lot of other traits, there can be 7 different genes involved. And keep in mind even what genes even do. People don't understand biologically what a gene actually does either. For those who don't know, this is where it throws people off. Okay, you guys know that genes do one thing and one thing only, right? Luke will understand this. Let's give you the simplified version. What does a gene actually do? They're basically a printer for a protein strand. To put it in layman's terms, all a gene is pretty much a recipe for printing a strand of protein. All genes do is manufacture protein. That is their only role. So everything that they do through the body is basically a result of the proteins they create. Essentially speaking, which then gets translated to protein, right? It's a printer for RNA, which is just so putting it in the most simplistic layman's terms. So all this different stuff that everyone thinks of as what is genetics is basically just printing protein. All that protein that they print is what does everything in your body that you associate with genes. Protein's kind of a big deal. It's the foundation of life. It is the foundation of cellular biology, really. Right. Genes, yeah, Luke says, to really nitpick, you might call the ribosome as a printer, then concept exactly the same and instructed by the gene, right? Right. I tried to take it to the most simplistic layman's terms without us getting into all this other stuff. Right. We don't need to start talking about enzymes and the replication process. We don't need all of this, right? Translated peptide machine forms. I feel better on that. Whole foods, fruits and vegetables, healthy whole grains, prepared all my meals myself from scratch, no added herbs, spices, probably eat chicken, beef 3 times a week. Yeah, that's reasonable. I do added herbs and spices, but like my stuff tends to be paprika, garlic powder. I use soy sauce. Those are basically my herbs and spices. I put potassium salt and stuff. Are we heading into a Terminator future with all this AI porn happening? I think so, but I want you guys to remember the armor is weakest under the breastplate. All right. Hopefully some of y'all stocked up on some tungsten core rounds to get through the armor. Do you ever cut out toxic friends from your life? Yeah. Yep. Sometimes we have to do that for some added flavor. Yeah, low-fat sauces work. I like soy sauce. I use picante sauce of different type, But those we're reasonable stuff for added flavor. And if you can't cook with all that, you don't know how to cook. Like, everyone thinks my cooking is great. I'm like, really, dude, it's just about knowing how to use paprika and soy sauce correctly. Once you have those skills down, man, and you understand basic temperatures, you're solid. All right. We're getting into soy sauce over here this year. Well, I like the soy sauce because I do a lot of brown rice, right? I do brown rice almost every day. And soy sauce is kind of a game changer there, which I don't know that I have a signature to me or to people who know me. No, I don't want to do. There's reasons I don't do a cooking video, Tyrone. I'm not going to go into that. Luke, I know the reference, right? I know the reference to Terminator 1. People who know me long term, they would say a brisket or whole chickens, like oven baked barbecue type chickens, or brisket would probably be what friends think of as a signature Jason dish. Or grilled steaks. I would say signature for me would be any brown rice and chicken based dish. Right. What would you cook a woman? I've cooked lots of things to impress women. It usually goes well. Women like my cooking as a general rule. Dudes worry about the stupidest stuff. I'm like, learn how to cook, learn how to play guitar. Those two things alone will get you more pussy than anything else you could possibly do. I'm just saying. Just saying, guys. All right. Barbecue brisket Texas or down south style is my favorite. Bought a smoker. Did you get, what type of smoker? Did you get like a charcoal type smoker, or did you get like an electric smoker? And anyone who hates on electric smokers, they don't like good food. Let's be honest. They work really well. I want to get one eventually. But I mostly oven bake all my stuff. I just oven bake all my meat now. Right? Oven bacon. And I thought this stream would get a lot more views than this. Maybe it's the time slot. Surprised it didn't do better. At least it reached the algo, though. At least there's that. Pressure cookers, yeah. I use the Instapot for everything. I just oven bake my chicken now, which you guys see the pictures. Do you do any more jogging vlogs? No, I do them all on Facebook now. I've been doing all of them. Yeah, because they don't make any money, Peppermint. Like, honestly, those running vlogs waste a whole slot every day. And they only put 3 slots. It's really, they kind of maximize it. They don't want us going over 3. That's the reason they throttled my channel. They don't want us doing more than 3 videos a day. They make like $1. So think about that. That's $3 a day. Like, there'd be no point in even having a channel at that point. Like other than just a funnel, the only purpose of a channel at that point would be to just post my coaching advertising every day from a business perspective. Like that's not any money. So it's unfortunately, it's not worth it for me to waste a slot there. When Facebook likes it, right? Facebook rewards it. So I'm going to limit for a long time 3 pieces of content inside of a day. But you guys get these long streams. I mean, you're getting an hour-long stream right here. So do we really need the other? So you guys you're getting the content. All the vlogs go up here, but yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for me. Like I wish it would put, when I put 10 videos up, it would put all of them into everyone's feed, but they get 100 views. So eventually, and I noticed the same thing. Like even one I did last week, one of them got like 1,000 views. Some of them, they're trickling back up. But even when the power was out, do you guys know that some of those videos, when I had 6 days with no power, no one had electricity within like 3 or 4 miles of me for 6 days. Marco, I'm not going to go into the details of my business to that degree. So I'm not actually going to answer that because now we're getting into the nuances of how I operate my business. So no, not even going there. But some of those videos got 2,000 views, 3,000 views that I put up the week before the hurricane knocked everything out. So YouTube started rewarding it. So yeah. So I'm going to play their game for now. But again, it's not like you guys don't get content. You're going to get an informative video minimum of 1 every day. Content's there. Plus, I had days where I uploaded 6 or 7 for the last couple of months or more. So that people have plenty of content there. But we have to respect the algorithm, exactly. You got to play their game. It's all about the game and how you play it. Right? As Olimi said, it's all about control. Right? Yeah, we got to respect the algo. And this one's been a slow stream now. I wonder why. Maybe the next one will hit harder. I'll do another one of these later this morning. How I see your consistency in uploading is unmatched in fitness, including through some presumably challenging times and lots of pushbacks. Much respect for that. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, bro. But I think it's about time should I push it out to the hour? I don't know if there's any benefit to pushing it out to the hour. Like, I don't think that affects the algo. Does it? Maybe the Facebook one. I don't know. Oh, but I didn't. You know what I didn't do? I didn't comment on my own video myself from my profile. Let's do that while it's still running. Everyone's here supporting. There we go. Get some regulars in here. We did get some regulars in here, but it's kind of weird. I thought it would do a little stronger, but that's okay. Some of them have been up and down a little, but I think I have enough time here. I can work another cardio in. Plus, doing more cardio during my fasting window lets me eat more. It raises my whole calorie ceiling, while still recompositioning. Right? Never a bad thing. Getting that flux in, as Dr. Perillo called it. Dr. Perillo, like the more list cardio you do, the more carbohydrates you can eat. Dean, not guaranteed, but I will try. I think I'll try to squeeze one in. I think I should be able to. Yeah, we should be able to do it. All right. That's the general idea here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the Facebook. And then we'll wind this down. So I'll catch you guys next time.